So Goodwill doesn't pay my bills. Hello everybody, welcome back to the cabin, welcome back to Commonwealth. Flipper had a crazy day today. You ever have one of those days it's just nothing seems to work out the way you wanted it to? I just spent the last about 40 minutes outside either chasing chickens or chasing a dog away from chickens or trying to locate the chickens that were either dead or hiding somewhere because of the dog. I'm happy to report, however, that all of the chickens are safe and back in the coop. But, you know, some days are just like that. In regards to reselling, have a really good day of sales today, headed out. I don't know how many I'm going to get through. At least got to get through 14 that I have to ship out today. I'm a little bit behind. I'm sure that happens to you from time to time. I don't have one-day shipping. I used to have to do it, and I kind of miss that, to be honest with you. I also got two questions that I want to address today. One specifically about Goodwill. Somebody heard me say something about it on the Trash to Cash podcast a few weeks ago. I want to address that a little bit, get your opinion about Goodwill as well, see how it fits into the scheme of things for your reselling business, and a bunch of great sales. Let's take a look. Every once in a while you say something that you don't think is going to be offensive and somebody gets mad. So I said something about Freddy Fender. I'm like, man, Freddy Fender, how did that get in there? Because, I mean, I'm looking at the Doors and Jimi Hendrix and Black Sabbath and whatever, you know, in there. And boy, I had the Freddy Fender fans coming out of the woodwork. There it is. There's the Doors. And you know what? Turns out they're right, because that one is worth more than this one, which I would have never thought. And this one is worth about the same. Now, I don't necessarily consider Freddy Fender quite on the level of Jimi Hendrix by any stretch of imagination, but somebody did. $13 plus shipping, $13 plus shipping, and $10 plus shipping. I think is what we got. So these aren't high-end records, but that's okay, because we're going to make our money back. We're just about there, I guess. I suppose with these three sales, we're getting close to about $50 away from breaking even on those. Look at that. And pretty happy with that so far, because we got the big one coming up in a couple of days. Hey, two of them went to viewers, which I told you they would, and we put some prices on them that would be really competitive, maybe better than competitive on some of them, because the condition's pretty good on most of them. And so I knew they were going to sell pretty quick. And so we've sold a bunch already and still have more to list. Going to do a few more auctions. This one went to Jacques, and he said he didn't want to shout out, but I like the message, so I'm going to read it anyways. Hey there, I watch your channel and don't resell. I miss going to garage sales because my wife's really not interested in going, and I don't have as much fun when I go by myself. But I can watch the wonderful people of this community go to yard sales and resell. That's really awesome. I don't need a shout out, he says. Just wanted to jaw a little. Don't we all? At any rate, stay safe, Jacques. So, Jacques, thank you so much. He got the Freddy Fender, by the way. And then Juan got the, what'd you get, Juan? Oh, no, he didn't. I take it back. He got the Doors, and Juan got the Freddy Fender. He says, thank you for the amazing YouTube content. Amazing might be a little bit of a stretch, but thank you. Freddy Fender was one of my dad's favorites. My father passed away 12 years ago, and it still hurts. This is a way for me to play some Freddy for him and have a cold one after a long day. Well, that is awesome. Thank you. And, you know, pop one open for me and enjoy some Freddy Fender. Hey, don't forget, later in the video, we're going to do that giveaway. And I don't know if we're announcing another giveaway today or not, but we're going to have one soon. I love seeing pictures of other people's reseller spaces. Two of my favorite things in this shed here are these little extra spaces. We just put this one in, but this one's been in here the whole time, and it allows us to put really long things over here, and kind of they're just, you know, other than being wasted space up there, I really like that idea. Of course, I'm kind of short too, you know, so I can walk under those. Some tall folks might not be able to walk under those, but anyway, Easton Typhoon, I knew this wasn't a good bat from the get-go, but I knew it was good enough to pick up for $5 because the condition was well. I've said this before. When you buy bats, you can look at and see if there's any nicks. This one had very few nicks, and a lot of times people, I was a ball player, and they'll knock their cleats, try to knock the mud off there, and sometimes if you don't do it right, you knock your cleats on it, and you end up having a ton of nicks, and it makes it a lot harder to sell that bat. But even though it's a low-end bat, I knew I could sell it for two reasons. It's a 34, and most bats, you know, high school kids don't use 34s. They use 33s, sometimes 32s. and I knew that would be a good seller. I'd find somebody, because they're not as easy to find out there. And then they had no nicks in it, so I knew it'd be okay. And it sold quick. $5 into 22 plus shipping. It's not great, but I'll take it. Sold a Tupperware canister. I sold the other piece to this. You know, a lot of times these canisters they come in sets. They're nesting sets. But this one only had 2. So we sold one off separate, and then we sold this one. And I can't remember what the other one sold for. I think the Nerdy Picker got it. I think. I could be wrong about that. And we did a off eBay sale. I think she wanted it. So thank you to you. And this one, I don't think went to a viewer. I didn't see any messages. So just a smaller one right there. And it's not big money, but you know what? It's $8 plus shipping. Plus we already made money on the other one. Plus we're into it for pennies. So I will take it. Haven't sold one of these in a while. So if you're new to the channel, you won't know what I'm talking about here. These are pretty cool. It's the kind of stuff you ever come across, and you can come across stockpiles of it sometime. Can really go for good money. Let me show it to you. There you go. That's 2 things that everybody's worried about. The long items, you know, and those long tubes, right? Whether or not that'll continue to be the same price, but it is right now, and these are going out cheap. Like $9 or less a piece to ship these out. Check this thing out right here. $55 plus shipping on that one right there. All right, let's talk a little bit about Goodwill here for just a second. I've got a couple of questions, and I get these from time to time, but these were pretty specific, and I figured this would be a great topic to talk about for just a second and to ask you guys a question too. I used to ask the question all the time, what percentage of your sales come from which source? You know, how many of y'all do, you know, retail arbitrage? How many of you do auctions? How many of you buy storage units? How many of you steal all your all right, I'm kidding. Maybe not steal. I don't know. Maybe there are. I know there are some people who do that out there, I suppose. I actually read about that the other day in an article, but it's beside the point. Garage sales, estate sales, Goodwill, other thrift stores. Do you have a secret honey hole out there? Do you source? You know, I don't know. How do you do it? Let me know what your percentage is from each of those places, or if you have something I didn't mention. But I got specific questions about the Goodwill for 2 reasons. I mentioned on the Trash to Cash podcast that if I was giving money to charities, I would never choose to give it to the Goodwill. I just think there's a lot better options. I'm not going to get into huge details about why I wouldn't do it. I'll just say this, that as far as a charity goes, the fact that you're donating clothes to it, there's almost nothing charitable. The only charity, in my mind, looking at the facts behind Goodwill, is you're donating to a lot of resellers, but you're putting a middleman in between them. And the cost of those goods don't reflect any charitable efforts being put to, I shouldn't say any, a small percentage of the charitable efforts being put forth to train people, which is the job, right? Training people at Goodwill. I don't want to get into it. This is really not the point of this video, but I will say that for me, if we're going to give money as a family to a charity, it's going to be to a charity that we know and we trust, and we really want to help a certain group of people. That's not to say Goodwill doesn't do anything good, because I think they do, and it's also not to say that all Goodwills are the same. They're not. It's just to say, as far as a monetary, you know, when they ask you to round up, I don't round up. I'd rather take that money and go give it and do something else with it. But I understand that. I know I'm going to get a lot of feedback, a lot of negative feedback about that statement, and that's okay. I can handle it, I suppose. The topic I really wanted to talk about, however, was the percentage of my, you know, the title of this video is Goodwill Doesn't Pay My Bills, right? Because I've seen that video out there a bunch. Goodwill pays my bill, or something like that, right? So Goodwill doesn't pay my bills. We source, I would say, 90 to 95% of the things we sell, we source from garage sales. You know, estate sales from time to time, or a church sale or something like that, or personal goods, but 90 to 95 come from garage sales. I basically don't really ever go to Goodwill very often. I don't think, other than making a video, I made one with Ray the Nashville Flippers, made one with Julian down there, the Bearded Thrift Machine, a couple of them. I'd say I made one with Dante, I think, Prison Prophet. I can't think of doing too many other than those in the last year, and I've probably gone into Goodwill in the last 3 years. I've probably gone into Goodwill less than 15 times. Now, Blue Ridge Mama goes in from time to time, and she'll round up. And the reason she says she does it is she thinks it's easier on the employees. I'm like, okay, fine. Feel free to round up. I don't care. We're talking pennies, right? So basically the percentage that we thrift in order to sell from Goodwill is very, very low. It's basically what Blue Ridge Mama picks up. My wife picks up some pretty good stuff, and that's about it. And I think if we had to do it a little bit more, we would. But the cost of goods, you guys know this if you're thrifters out there, the cost of goods is going up, 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 way faster than everything else, than the price of selling goods on eBay is, and the shipping costs are going up, obviously. So the cost of goods at Goodwill is getting so extravagant in some cases. It's not like you can't make money there, but it's getting so extravagant in some cases that you can find the cost of goods at yard sales are 10% sometimes of what you can find at the Goodwill. So that's why I like garage sales. But if I had to, if we couldn't find enough at garage sales, I would definitely go thrifting more. I want to know the percentages that you go and source thrift stores, Goodwill in general, but any thrift store. We don't have anything else but that. We don't have Savers. We don't have any of that stuff. We used to have a DAV. We don't have that. We don't have a Salvation Army. We have a Goodwill in the town down here, and it's got good prices, really good prices actually, but it has terrible merchandise. So I don't know what you'd rather have. Really good merchandise at high prices or really bad merchandise at low prices. I'm curious to know. You tell me in the comments below. Next one is going out to Michael. Michael, thank you for the purchase. Big Boy Michael, I think is the eBay name. You gotta love that. And he said he watches the videos, especially the garage sale ones, so he can learn what to pick out there. And that is the case, boy. I'll tell you what, I've been picking a long, long time, but I still learn all the time watching different videos. Where is it? That's it right there. $8, and I've learned from you guys watching my videos and telling me how dumb I am when I don't pick something up. And I go look it up and I'm like, yeah, look at that, check it out. That one sold for $8, Michael. Thank you very much, plus shipping. People ask me all the time how I ship video games, so I say from time to time. This is a generic one. I like blue because we'll put the Inman in it from time to time. And that one's pretty darn cheap if you buy them in bulk on eBay. I do have a link. It's not why I did that, but I do have a link. The reason I did it is because I wanted to thank Eric and Garrett. Is that right? Did I have that right? Eric and Garrett for buying plans for the Commonwealth Picker shipping table on CommonwealthPicker.com. Haven't grabbed a remote out of the remote bin in a while. It's kind of a mess up here, actually. And we were listing some remotes the other day because I finished listing the VCRs, and when I was done with that, I had like 3 remotes sitting there that didn't match any of the VCRs. So sometimes you'll buy a VCR out there if you're not paying attention, and you think there's a remote with it, but it's not the right remote. Anyway, let's see. I don't know. Might take me a while to find this one. Let's see. I think it's Pioneer. Is that it? That's it right there. That sold for 28 bucks right there, y'all. $28 for a DVD player. And I think we had a Pioneer DVD player in there, but this wasn't the right one, I think. But hey, that's great. 28 bucks right there. Remotes are gold. If you can find remotes with the machine, it helps the machine sell a lot better. But sometimes I'll pick up a whole tote full of remotes, and there's huge variance, right? There's certain ones that go for a lot, certain ones that don't go for anything, and they're hardly worth it. But that one was worth it. 28 bucks. Free ship. Some of you may remember a remote for a, well, I'm going to show it to you in a minute so you remember, but it was a remote that got sent back to me, but it didn't get sent back through the eBay return system. The person didn't know how to do it. It was the first thing they ever bought on eBay. So they just sent it back to me in a box, and they're like, I couldn't figure out how to send the return, so here you go. Which means I didn't have to send the return, but I felt bad for this person, and they couldn't figure it out. And I was like, yeah, sure, of course we're going to give the return. But I think I had listed this for $4 higher. I think it was $85 the first time, sold for $89 the second time. Because it sold so fast the first time, I'm like, I'll bump it up. It'll pay for that cost of the return shipping, right? Or not the return shipping, the original shipping. They paid for the return shipping because they went to the post office. We probably paid too much. But this is a Sleep Number bed remote. If you ever find one, grab it. $89 for that one plus shipping. Second time I sold it, so we're not going to make as much as I originally thought, but I will take it for sure. All right, I went to pick some orders here out of this drawer. I love this thing, by the way. Bought it at a yard sale for $5. Cleaned it up a little bit, painted it up, and I just love this thing. And thank you all for your stickers, by the way. Except for Dave. I wish I'd have never put those on there. I'm kidding, Dave. I'm kidding. All right, what do we got here? ET. So I sold one of these. This is like a 3D head pin right there. Tie pin type. And then ET and drag, I always say. So we got those 2. And 2 more things that I think I'm going to get Turner out here to say thank you for this one. I'm going to read the comment. 4 things altogether to 1. there were a total, I think, of 5 viewer sales today. And I guess if you count these, what is that, 8? So anyway, let me read it. I just had to scroll down. I don't know if you noticed. Here, let me show you. I don't want to show you from too close because you'll read all the addresses and stuff, but I'll show you from back here. That's a new monitor. Finally have a new monitor in here. The other one I have to plug in and unplug and plug back in all the time to get it to work because the inputs weren't right for it. And so I finally got a monitor out here that works. I'm sure you don't care about that, but I care. Thank you for all the great videos. I've learned so much from you. Thought I would return the favor. That's very nice of you by purchasing some items from your store. Thank you very, very much, Bill. It's these 2 items. You like E.T.? I just love these things. I just love them. Thank you to Ivan, by the way. We made a deal with Ivan here. He's the guy who got us these. So Ivan, you are the man. I appreciate it very much. I'll be selling those for a long time. And Bill, thank you for grabbing one, and thank you for your support and for watching the show. We appreciate it. 2 more items. I'm gonna get Turner out here to say thank you for them. I'm trying to do a thank you in here. 7. And Turner is dialing phone numbers. Every time you come in here, you gotta play with that thing, don't you? Yeah.
Hello,
all right.
Hello, Kevin.
Oh my goodness. How you doing, buddy? All right, let's talk Homeschool Hustler. All right, right here. I like that shirt right there. That's pretty good. So you need to wear a belt. You can be out there in baseball clothes. You gotta have a belt on, buddy. You gotta look good. In Bull Durham, they used to say, you know, if you want to play like a slob, you look like a slob. If you want to play like a pro, you look like a pro. All right, let me get this stuff. All right, you got a couple of things here. What do you got?
Shaggy
from Scooby-Doo. That's right.
Some Simpsons.
Some Simpsons stuff, huh? And this is from 1990. I remember when The Simpsons came out, boy. I remember what I ate the night that TV show came on.
What?
And then I was happy that my dad would let me watch it because my mom was a little bit, she's like, I don't know about this.
What did you eat?
I ate Cookie Crisp. We got Cookie Crisp. I never got Cookie Crisp.
What is crisp?
And so I got to eat Cookie Crisp and watch The Simpsons, and I remembered it.
What is Cookie Crisp?
You've never had Cookie Crisp? It's like the little cookies in cereal. No? You remember that? It's 1998, and Shaggy's 1998. I'm going to let him take a little closer look at this. Do you remember? You know Scooby-Doo, don't you? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Shaggy.
I like Scooby-Doo.
That was, what, Casey Kasem's voice right there? You like Scooby-Doo? Mm-hmm. All right, and those sold along with these up here to a viewer named Bill. Would you say thank you to Bill?
Thank you, Bill.
All right, buddy. Appreciate it. That's definitely enough for you to do what?
Save $1, spend $1, and donate $1. Bye.
All bats are not created equal. I know this because I coached forever. And this one was a little bit better, even though I remember it being not allowed when it first came out. Because I had a few players that had them. And they didn't allow them at the beginning. And then I don't know what the rules ended up being. It's an axe bat. You see how it's an axe handle? Right there. And it's a little bit different than just that plain knob. And when I saw that, I'm like, that's got to have some value here. I don't know if they still use it, but, you know, there's still a market for them right there. So I paid $5 each. That was $5 into $22 plus shipping. This is $5 into $45 plus shipping. Definitely a better deal. Had an Inman auction in today. Only doing one of those, maybe 2 a week, because we're, you know, getting low, but John was the winner this week. Thank you, John. And let me read your message. All right, I screenshotted this one because it wasn't in the message, or it was in the messaging system, but not on the purchase. But I had to read it because I thought it was funny. So, John, thank you. As the winner of this auction for the much coveted Inman Plush, let me just state that if it doesn't come out in the end, it will all come out in the laundry. Jeez. Brings me back to the olden days here when we used to sell 25 of these a day in the shed, and I would just read people's comments. They were always like that, you know. Wishing continued success and happiness to you and yours, JT. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it, and we hope it gets things moving for you. The last viewer sale of the day is this Tony Stewart like beanie. It's not really a beanie baby, but it's a Tony Stewart beanie. And it's $4 plus shipping. This is not something I would pick up to buy or pick up to sell, but it was in a lot, and sometimes it's just hard not to make the, you know, $2.50 profit on something, especially when you know there's people who watch and, you know, they want to buy something that means a little something to them, and it's not that expensive because a lot of people don't have a bunch of money to be paying for an Inman or something. But this is kind of along those lines. So we did it, and I'm happy I did, because it did go to a viewer, last viewer sale of the day. Went to Teresa. Hi, Kevin. Love your videos. Bought this little bear for 2 reasons. I'm a big Tony Stewart fan, and I want to give this cutie a good forever home, even if he is a little dirty. And the first time I read that, I thought you were talking about Tony Stewart, because Tony Stewart is a little dirty, or was a little dirty. But when I read it again, I realized you're talking about the bear. I think my wife listed that one, I think, and it is a little dirty. I think she probably put that in the comments. So it's always good, by the way, if you're new to reselling out there, if you have something, you know, describe it well and make sure people know so that you can back up your claims, you know, later, because people a lot of times won't look at things and, you know, point them out in the pictures if there's something on it. Anyway, you get that. Second, because I love your channel and your precious family and want to support a genuine, respectable seller. I don't know about all that, but I do appreciate it. If I could ask you if you could do a video on shipping and explain calculated shipping and how you keep the weight under the price on the shipping label, if that makes sense. So I'm not sure what you mean by that, so feel free to send me an email and maybe put your name in the title. I get so many, but if I see that name, I'll try and read it, and if I'm not answering this correctly, but I'll try my best here. All right, I'm not positive what you mean by that, but I will take a guess at it. And then I'll also point you to a couple of videos where I talk about calculated shipping or free shipping. If I can find that one, I'll put it up here or over here or somewhere in this video. It's a pretty good one for new resellers, but for people out there who aren't resellers or maybe just starting, there are increments that it goes up, right? The price goes up at certain weight points as well as size, but if it's not a huge item, we're just basically talking about weight here. If we're talking about priority mail shipping or first class. So with first class, it goes up every 4 ounces. So 4 ounces, 8 ounces, 12 ounces, 16 ounces. If it goes over that next marker, it's going to go up in price. It could be 4 ounces, 5 ounces, 6 ounces, 7 ounces. It's all the same price. When it gets to, that's right. When it gets to 8 ounces, it's going to go up. 12 ounces is going to go up. Over 16 ounces, it goes up. And then once you're at that point, you know, you're at a pound, it goes up by pound. And so maybe what you mean is, you know, what are some shipping tricks to keep it under that next pound limit? If that's the case, I got the video for you. If I can find it, it's in the how-tos, but sometimes I can't find my own videos, but it is in the playlist. The only other thing I think you could possibly mean that I'm aware of is, you may have heard me say at one point, and I don't talk about this often, but sometimes when I'm doing calculated shipping, because the price that the buyer pays for calculated shipping is oftentimes very inflated compared to what you actually pay. So I might have an item that's going out at the 3 pound rate, and I might list it as a 2 pound item to beat the competition. That's a bad example. I guess you don't really need an example, but if I have an item that's going to go out at, you know, it's really going to be shipped out at the 6 pound rate, I might put 4 pounds calculated on it because it's going to give them a portion of the discount that I get. And if it's in a highly competitive type of market here, depending on what you're selling, I'm going to do anything I can. You know, people are psychological creatures. And so to look at something, some people will buy something because the shipping is cheaper, even though the total cost isn't, because they feel like somebody's trying to rip them off in shipping. And most buyers out there don't realize just how expensive shipping really is. And so that's one thing. So if I'm not answering your question, which I have a feeling I'm not, maybe you can send me that message. But I do appreciate it. I appreciate the sale. Thank you very much. Thought we'd give a special thank you. We're trying to, because so many folks are buying these, but we can't do everybody. So it's Meg today, Lilac Seller. And seller is like a seller. C-E-L-L, see, I gotta spell this right, I'm embarrassed myself. C-E-L-L-A-R, Lilac Seller. Meg, thank you, and we hope he gets things moving for you. A couple of twisted radio waves, down to 3 left. Boy, we really are getting 3 left that don't have that sticker mark. I don't know what I'll do with the rest. But those are headed out of here, and I don't think either one was to a viewer this time. Mary Kay Beach Bronze Lip Gloss, $7 plus shipping. And we had a Bonanza sale. I know lots of people like tease me about Bonanza, but we're making 2 to 5 sales a month on Bonanza, and it's no extra work, so, you know. I'm not ashamed to say I sell on Bonanza. Not ashamed at all. All right, Ford Pinto. This thing's in terrible shape. It's a Mercury Ford Pinto Bobcat. Man, that looks like SoCal right there in the background. Anyway, That right there sold for $11.96, free shipping on Bonanza.
I'm not in this anymore.
Nope. All right, y'all. We have Sophie and Reagan. Reagan, what do you got?
Meg, Kevin, Lindsay, and Lori.
And they bought all kinds of stuff. Shirts and I don't know what else. Fanny packs and all that stuff. So thank you. I don't know if there's any mugs today. I don't think there's any mugs today. Nope. And you know what? We have... Oh, wait. Who else do we have? We had one more thing. One of your fundraisers, which I wrote the check today already. So I paid my part in there. And we've had a few people buy some things as well. So thank you all so much. And this was one of them.
To Lori.
To Lori?
I'm pretty sure.
And she got your original work of art with all the stickers and Christmas ornament in there and all that stuff. We got a couple more we're going to do, so that's awesome. You're doing real good. So thank you to Lori as well. And you know what? We're going to do some Commonwealth comedy. They just got to have it. All right, you want to give them a joke? Actually, let's do the joke first, and then we'll do your line, okay? All right, what's your joke?
How does a mermaid wash her fin?
How does a mermaid wash her fin? It sounds like a Blue Ridge Mama joke to me. All right, how does a mermaid wash her fin?
Tide.
With the tide. I like it.
I got it.
Thank you. Very, very much. How come wherever you go, these animals come? It's crazy. Awesome. Thank you, and
bye. And don't forget to get your sticker at CommonwealthPicker.com.
Hey, a couple of quick things. Giveaway winner. First, let me say this. The first giveaway we did with that, the one of one mug here, this one, from PM Bates, from Paul Michael Bates, who has since passed on. He's our original merch guy. He sent us this mug. This is the prototype. We thought we'd give it away. The reason why we're doing these giveaways is we are going to, not very often, a couple of times a month maybe, out of our, let's see, out of our 20 videos, maybe one or two a month, especially on the other channel, do a sponsored video where there's a 1 minute ad essentially in the middle of a video, and you know, money's coming to us because of the audience, because of you guys, because the audience has grown. And so we thought we'd start doing giveaways. We haven't done any of that yet, so we're starting with some small stuff, but I hope to take a certain portion of that money and just start giving it away in different ways. I hope to anyways. We'll see how it all plays out, I suppose. At any rate, we're doing that one. We did this one, it was Bucket O Fish, and they didn't claim it. So we're going to run this thing again, I guess. I don't know. Should I let them have another chance at it, I suppose? They'll probably hear this one. They didn't send me a message on the last one. Send me an email. At any rate, I guess maybe we'll run it next time. And the winner for the blacklight and the 2 jewelry magnets is... we write down this stuff beforehand, and then Reagan draws it. And I was rooting for Teresa B today. So Sweet Tea's Treasures. But you didn't win. Sorry, I probably shouldn't have said it that way. Maybe you can win this thing next time. And the winner is Linda Fisher. Won this one. And the next episode, we're going to do that tape gun inside. And we'll give that away. So you guys are great. Thanks for joining us as always. And I can't wait to see you next time.